casts Ultima right before he dies.
Well, right, yeah, he casts Ultima before he dies,
and
and
kills you.
I want you to use some kind of
You have to use re-rise.
rise.
Re-raise. Re-raise.
Yeah, I don't even think I have
Like,
that.
okay. Yeah.
Uh, but I did.
That's the one that gives all your party like a buff to come back when they get knocked out once.
I did get the Phoenix though, so it should be like I think that that the Phoenix has re-rise, but I'm not 100% sure on that. I didn't even know what
Oh,
the.
we're live.
Oh yeah, yeah, we're live by the way. I didn't even know that can actually move. My bad.
Oh dear.
My B dog.
Okay. Oh well. I
Technical
don't have a green
difficulties.
screen. It's fine.
Um, but yeah, I didn't even know that I had to use re-rise. I was like, I think it said something, but like at the time I was just panicking,
I didn't know that.
looking through
Yeah.
information. But
I was just looking through your spell list. I'm like, what the fuck can this guy use? I was like, ah, Berserk. Yes.
yeah, well, I mean,
That'll stop him.
you found Berserk, and then I found Libra, and I was like, oh yeah, this does what I need it to.
Okay, nice.
Because I didn't know how to find something's weakness. Uh, but yeah, man, I'm actually looking forward to getting back to.
Yeah. It's a really good game.
Yeah, Final
It's been
Fantasy
a long
6.
time since I've played it.
That's great. You know what? Now that I don't have a green screen, I can actually move this. Whoa, move this like about.
Mine's probably a little too high, but
Well, the thing is like if I move this camera, if I move it any more downward, or to the left or to the right, you'll see that there's a green screen there, and then you'll just start seeing like the edges, and it looks all awkward and stuff.
oh, okay.
And you know, obviously, since you're not using a green screen, I'm not gonna use one.
Oh. Alright, sure. I mean, usually I just like shrink my like cam down so it's just like focused on this part instead, so you know you don't see
See all that
the
stuff.
rest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kinks. We'll get those kinks out.
Because there's nowhere for me to really put it. Well, I mean, I guess I could technically like put one up on the ceiling and have it pulled down behind me for a green screen, but
you could, you know, I think I actually
messy.
you can see it right there, kind of, but that's the Elgato.
Yeah, I don't got any room for anything like that.
You you think you don't have room?
Yeah.
Bro, have you seen this room? Have I showed this room
Are
to
you
you?
living in a closet?
I'm basically living in a closet.
All right, Harry Potter, calm down.
Like, okay, so you see the bed here, right? Hold on,
Yeah.
so here's the bed.
Yep.
Okay,
Okay.
and then this is the wall where this is. So okay, so I literally have this amount of room to fit the green screen, so I have to lay it on top of my bed.
Hmm. Ah. Okay.
Okay, now see, well, you guys can see past it, but look, this is the other half of the room.
Nope. Can't. All I see is a microphone.
Here. Like, there's the
Okay.
wall,
Yeah.
there's the other wall.
I thought my room was messy, but you know,
Shit, dude. Well,
too bad.
wait until you get a small room.
I've
Then
had a small room.
like small as this one.
Uh, probably roughly the same size. Yeah.
If okay, so the thing is, it's like if I sneeze, this room gets dirty.
Yeah, but it's small, so it's easy to clean.
Busy guy. Excuses. Anyway, um,
Excuses. By the
yeah,
way, the podcast is still going.
yeah. Um, but yeah, man. How was your week, dude?
So, not great, honestly. so,
Oh,
so my state's been having a lot of rain, and our basement flooded.
your basement flooded?
Yeah,
How?
so that was pretty shitty. Well, it's like it's an outdoor basement.
Outdoor? What?
Yeah, so
This is
like
a new
we
concept
have
to me.
okay, so we have like the house, right? And then we have like the backyard. And in between the house and the backyard, we have a porch. And off to the side of the porch is down into the basement.
It's down at the basement. Okay, that's so strange. I've
Yeah.
never. I mean,
Yeah,
in
and so like we keep our water heater there and our furnace there.
see
It's
the
where all the internet's running through up into the house and all that stuff.
see the thing is that in New England, um, because
Oh, yeah, that flooded.
I live in Maine, so in
Yeah,
New England, our basement is always underneath the house.
that's fair. I
So
mean,
like,
mine goes underneath the house.
right? Well, you're saying it's like
Different access point.
saying it's off to the side though.
Yeah, but so what happens is groundwater comes in. And so since it's been raining so much, it just filled up. And we had like a pump down there to like pump it out into a drain. However, the pump got jammed, and so instead it just went bloop 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 bloop, and it ended up putting out the pilot light on the furnace and the pilot lights on the water heater. And so we spent like the whole day trying to fix the water heater. And then we had to buy like new filters and stuff for the furnace and pray that the furnace turned on. And it did. So that's good. And the water heater eventually turned on as well. So that's good.
Right,
But so we had to fix the pump. And what happened was it has like a float to know when to turn on. And the float got stuck. So it never rose up to flip this pump on. And so we fixed that. And so now we shouldn't, have bunch of water damage possibly anymore. So that's good.
that's yeah.
Other than that, that all happened at like 2 in the morning because we just heard like this horrendous sound of like, and I was like, what the fuck is that?
2 in the morning on what day was this?
This was Tuesday. Yeah, I think it was
Tuesday.
Tuesday. Yeah, it's not fun.
That sounds pretty
But
not
other
fun.
than that, my week's been fairly uneventful. Like,
Did you play any games?
not really. Trying to play some Path of Exile. Hi, I'm doing stuff.
Okay.
Yeah,
Have fun.
I will.
I sent you a dislike bar extension for
Oh,
YouTube.
okay, fair enough.
Um,
Anyways, yeah, so it's pretty uneventful other than the flooding, which sucked. But what you gonna do? It's all fixed now. So everything
right.
turned on. So we didn't have to, pay like $700+ for a new water heater and stuff.
Yeah. That would have been rough.
Yes.
So
Yes, it would have.
like I've never actually, I fortunately have never had that happen. But
Oh, that's good.
yeah. Um, I remember when like so here the thing is like so many different houses across the United States are built differently, and like
Yeah.
just the way you explained the way your basement is kind of strange.
I mean, it is a little strange, but
Yeah, I mean a lot of places
our
don't
attic's also basically unusable. Like it's just like this little space, like about this tall. There's like some shit shoved up there, and
like a crawl space.
otherwise it's just like house support, and yeah, it's essentially a crawl space.
I know when I lived in Virginia. they didn't even have a basement. They used their attic.
Oh,
Yeah, because they had a big
I'd be
attic.
screwed.
Yeah, which was a nightmare. Especially if you need to get
Sounds
anything.
like it. Yeah,
Um,
ugh, I hate like because we have like a garage, and the garage has an attic plus to it, and taking things up and down there is a huge pain in the butt. So can only
right?
imagine doing that with a real house. Gross.
Yeah.
Plus, it's
Um,
got that creep factor, like going into the attic. You're like, shit, what's up here? I don't know what's going on.
yeah, man. I don't know. I think basements are way creepier than attics.
Oh, definitely. They're both okay. They're both just like super creepy, right?
Have you ever seen the movie Hereditary?
Hereditary?
No.
No,
Okay. Well, I'm not going to spoil it, but there's a really creepy scene with an attic.
of
Uh,
course.
but yeah, it's that whole movie is like super scary. It's probably one of the scariest movies I've seen in a long time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, horror movies and stuff just love their attics and their basements.
Very true.
Very, very. Oh, and insane asylums. Love those too.
Yeah, or cabins in the woods, or like you
Cabin in
know,
the Woods is a good movie.
Cabin in the Woods is a good movie. Literally just a
Not
giant.
much of not much of a horror movie, but
Oh no,
good
it's
parody.
it's a giant homage to
Yeah.
horror. Like
Yeah, it is.
I don't know if you've ever seen Evil Dead.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I mean that's the cabin that they're
Yeah.
basically homaging. Um,
Yeah.
and it's like a Joss Whedon thing, so that's why there's like so much quippy dialogue and
Yeah. They were just having a bunch of fun, basically.
right. Um, but yeah, man. Thing. My week
So
was
how is your week? Yeah,
oh,
there we
all right, fair enough.
go.
My week was it was like really, but so I've been starting to go back to the gym. Uh, three
Oh,
days,
okay.
3 days a week. This was the first full 3 days. I started last week. Got 2 days because I started the middle of the week. And the way I had gotten myself to go back was I made myself accountable. I
Oh, right.
yeah I had told the Discord that if I didn't go 3 days or 2 days last week, 3 days this week, that I'd be giving away 10 free gift subs. So essentially just paying like $60, which is like something like that, which I think is like twice as much as I would pay for gym dude.
Mm-hmm.
So I just kind of it motivated me too. Uh,
That's good.
it motivated me this week too. I literally got out of work early on Friday, and I went to go see the new Ghostbusters. Um,
Oh,
yeah, saw the new one, and then after I
I'm
got
excited
out,
to see that.
I was like, and I really like to go home, but I also have to go to the gym. So then I still went. 9 times out of 10, if I didn't have that motivating factor, I would have just went home and relaxed for the.
That's fair. I would go to the gym, but COVID's still pretty hot here, unfortunately, with that Delta variant nonsense. Like a couple of my buddies even got it, and I'm like, ugh,
Oh,
gross. I'll just hide at home.
I still have to get my booster shot.
Your 6 month or whatever.
The Delta booster. I've gotten
Oh, so the
both.
third shot.
Yeah,
The third shot then. Okay.
third shot.
Yeah, yeah.
I've had the 2 shots.
I have to get it also, but the line is astronomical.
Gotcha. Right. Yeah, you probably live in a like much more densely populated place than I do.
It's not. It's not. It's not that dense. It's just everyone wants it.
Right.
That's all it comes down to. And then, since it's not that dense and we don't get a whole lot of them, so, supply versus demand.
Right. I guess that makes. But yeah. So I mean, I've been finding that really helped. Um, the new Ghostbusters movie was actually really good. I would recommend. I don't know if anyone's like
Okay.
shitting on it online or whatever, but uh,
I haven't really seen much of it at all.
yeah. I mean, it
I
hasn't been.
heard it's better than 2016. I'm like, well, that wouldn't
Oh,
take
it
much.
doesn't take. Well, I mean, okay. So
When when you set the bar down here, like, hey, it's actually like over here this good.
what 2016 is literally could have been named anything. Could have like renamed it, and I think it it wouldn't have done as well. But like they
Wouldn't
could,
have
it
got as much flack.
would have got as much flag, and but that's what they were looking for. They were looking for flag, so they could.
Yeah.
Um,
I heard that the new one basically completely disregards the second movie and the reboot.
in a way, it does. Like it doesn't necessarily. Okay, so this the definitely the reboot, but the reboot takes place in a completely different timeline dimension, and they address that in the movie. Um,
Mm.
but the second movie, they kind of do skip over it, and I don't know if that was intentional or if that was um like just an oversight because they it doesn't really like it wouldn't affect the movie too much. They don't, but they don't. They have a moment where they could acknowledge it, but they don't.
Yeah, so they're pretending it never happened.
But that, I mean, I don't know. I they'd have no reason to do that, really.
Well, the second one wasn't super well received
No,
because, like, the second one wrote a lot on, oh, here's this funny joke from, like, the first movie, and now we're gonna do it again in the second movie.
a lot of movies
Haha.
do that where they just take the
Yeah, they fall into the sequel problems.
yeah, they just try to
They're
do
like,
the
hey, this worked the first time. Let's do it the second time.
right. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Um, this movie does not do anything from the original. This one is a very like in terms of a Ghostbusters movie, this one's pretty original. Um, and
Okay.
it has original plot, original story, but just takes aspects from the first movie and like establishes a bunch of new characters. And Paul Rudd's pretty good in the movie. Um,
Well, that's good to hear. I mean, Paul Rudd's generally good, so
yeah,
it makes sense.
yeah. And it's pretty entertaining. I liked it. Um, and there's a couple of cameos that are like they'll surprise you. Like you may not if you don't know the actor or actress. Like you might
Like from the first movie.
know. Like they're like more current popular that are like in
Oh,
roles that
okay.
you like wouldn't know it's unless you
That's that's weird, but all
yeah.
right, sure.
Um, like I'll say J.K. Simmons is, but
What?
J.K. Simmons.
Why?
Well, he plays an important character, kind of.
Oh,
Like
okay.
not an acting character, but anyway, uh, like a character who's like he's in the movie for like a hot minute. Like maybe you
And
see him for like 3 minutes of screen time, and that's it. And then
and you're
Olivia,
like, oh wait, that was him.
yeah, I knew it was him right away.
Oh, okay.
And then Olivia Wilde was also in.
Huh.
Which if you see her in the movie, you may not know it's. Uh,
Hmm.
but yeah,
Okay.
it was really good. Um, other than that, most of my week has just been like trying to get being in the lab, trying to get better at Tekken, which has a lot of training mode is really what it comes down to.
I feel that.
fucking like
Go ahead.
I started taking, like, I actually paid for a couple of lessons.
Oh,
Uh
wow.
just to get a different perspective on how to practice the game. And
How did that go?
it went well. I have a new formula practice for, like, figuring out what I did wrong.
Okay.
And I think it works. It basically goes like this, and it's really nothing special, but it's, obviously I play like 5 matches. I go to um, replay, watch those matches, then I go into training mode, figure out what I wasn't punishing and why I got hit by what I got hit at, and then, practice the fuck out of, like, punishing whatever or escaping whatever. And that,
Mm,
like,
oh,
a lot of it's a lot of work.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
um,
It's fighting games. Fighting games are work.
yeah, essentially it's a third job, so it's what it comes down to.
Then don't pick up an MMO with it.
Oh no, fuck no, I won't. I've never been an MMO kind of guy because, like, since I was a kid, it kind of always was a turn off to pay for my video game that I bought.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
okay.
That
Yeah,
was
yeah,
that
that
was
makes
also
sense.
that was also the 2000s where there was no free to play game
Oh, there was a bunch.
besides, like I'm sorry, the ones I would hear about were not free.
Okay.
Like, you'd hear
Wait,
of, like, World of Warcraft, and then there was that other MMO, like a 2D one. Uh, had a weird name to it, but you could use, like, swords and stuff. Uh,
Adventure Quest?
no, 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 it had like a quaint
No, it's not
name.
an MMO.
I want to say it was like Stardew Valley. I don't remember. Um,
2D?
it's 2D, yeah. 2D MMO.
Maple Story?
Yes, that's exactly what it was. Maple
Oh,
Story.
okay.
Um,
I was like, 2D, 2D,
yeah,
2 Maple Story?
I remember that existing in the early 2000s. Uh,
Yeah,
so
I never played much Maple Story, so I don't know.
my friend got into it, and then I tried to get into it, and I played a lot of it, but I didn't have a computer at the time, so it kind of made things difficult.
Oh, yeah, yeah, that would make it harder.
Right. Um, but yeah, so I the new Ghostbusters were good. Good. Going to the gym's been
Okay.
going well. Lots of training mode. Work, on the other hand, has been very busy and exhausting as of late. Just, the amount of work we've been doing, kicking my butt, and then streaming. Other than that, yeah, then right, keeping
Okay,
it
that's
the
good.
grind down. Um,
Nice. I'm glad you're sticking with Tekken at least.
yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, is he just gonna drop Tekken? Seems a little flustered with it.
I mean,
Eh.
okay. So here's the thing.
Because I've thought about dropping Tekken.
Talking about driving Tekken. I
I did. Because, like,
recently.
yeah, it's just like, one, I just can't really find a character that I just really, really click with. And I
Right.
don't know why. So I've, like, jumped around the whole roster, as everyone knows. So, and it's really impeded my progression slash enjoyment in the long run, because, like, it's 2 step forward, 3 steps back kind of thing going on,
Yeah.
where you're just switching characters. Sure, I am, like, picking up more, like, fundamentals as I go, but at the same time, Tekken's so much about the core of the character plus the fundamentals layered on top that it's really difficult.
Um. Yes. And like I'm slowly starting to find out that more I play, like what is the big thing? Is like obviously it's your habits, and then on top of that, it's what you don't know. And then
Yeah,
after it's what you don't know in your habits, then it's like, what are they doing? Like,
yeah.
how can I mix them up? They know how to they know the game already.
What are their habits?
What are their habits? They know the game. What can I punish? Um,
Yeah.
and then like that's so basically the game never gets easy. It's always going to get harder, and it's always going to get more strict.
Well, at at the low ranks, well, the low-ish ranks, like where you and I are, right?
Sure.
It's basically just me knowledge checking them and
Mhm.
them knowledge checking me back. And
Exactly.
whoever fails the knowledge check loses that round.
Mhm.
It's like, all
Yeah.
right, what kind of cheesy bullshit can I get away with? Okay, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Now, what kind of cheesy bullshit are they gonna hit me with? Oh, okay, okay.
Right.
Neutral just kind of doesn't really exist generally, unless you're fighting somebody who doesn't really belong in that rank, which is very common,
Really.
unfortunately. Yeah,
Huh.
definitely. Especially in like Juggernaut and stuff. There seems to be a lot of people that just kind of chill there.
Hang out
Like
there.
you'll just see them like Korean backdashing just like all over the place and just screwing with you, and it's kind of not fun. But other than that, whatever.
But I mean, I think okay. So I definitely get frustrated with Tekken. It's just that you know I I think playing in lobbies is frustrating because I have to sit there and not know what I'm doing wrong until I have the time to play by myself. Um, so
You could try
it's
asking them.
sure I could ask them. I mean, I just
I don't know if
wouldn't.
they'll answer, but you could try.
I
Worth
mean,
a shot.
it's sort of like one of those things where it's like I'm the type of person where I have to go into training mode and do it like 100 times. Like how Gaki will sometimes come into the stream and he'll be like, "Why didn't you punish that? Why didn't you do this?" Like, well,
Yeah,
because I don't have that reaction built in. That's how I am.
yeah,
I can't make adjustments if I don't have that kind of base. But
understandable.
but yeah, I mean, I definitely understand the frustration with Tekken, and I was there not too long. Um,
Yeah,
but but I think definitely like doing this these lessons or whatever has been really helpful in understanding uh, how the game works and actually how to get better at a fighting game. Period. Uh, so just having a method of improvement, I think, is really important. But it is a lot of work. I can see why
yeah.
people wouldn't be willing to.
Well, I mean, I know for a fact that I approach fighting games wrong because I always like learn the combos and then learn like the base game. When in reality, you should learn like the base game and then like what characters can do, what other characters can do, and then kind of like start exploring the combos.
Well, that's what a lot of like pro players do. They like they don't even bother like going around mashing them buttons. They just kind of they go into training mode, play a couple matches, they stop, they go back to training mode. You know what I mean? And it's
Yeah,
like they're already kind of like proofing out their game. And
yeah.
I mean, I guess I get it, but I mean, I would want to sort of have more. That's not as fun as just going around, mashing them buttons, whatever.
Look
Is
at
that
these
the
cool combos I can do. Can you play the neutral? No, but look at these cool combos I can do on the off chance I do launch you.
Yeah, yeah, but I mean, like, yeah, again, like, you can't even really make. I mean, you can make it to neutral, but like, I feel like neutral is sort of like after you figure out how to punish shit, because it's like only when
Yeah.
you figure out how to punish things do you know. Oh, if I stand in
I
this
mean,
range,
that's part of the neutral, right?
yeah, yeah, that's exactly
Knowing
it.
how to whiff punish, how
Yep.
to block punish. Yeah.
And then it becomes like where to stand, for this character. Just stand like they're standing here. You want to stand like a little bit outside this range so they can't hit you and whiff punish them or whatever. It becomes a game of jousting essentially. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, I think that's been helping a lot, and just putting in the work. Um, but yeah, man. I'm trying to think. Was there anything else that happened this? Um, no. I mean, besides oversleeping today and no, having my extra day of work that was optional. No, I don't think so.
Yeah. I mean, listen, the podcast is only like an hour and 30 minutes late. It's fine.
Yeah, yeah. Why did my phone have to die? Oh yeah, I figured out it. Like, okay, so I figured out why my phone died. So I have two cords, right? One going from,
Okay.
obviously the plug to the wall, but then it's a USB at the end of it. I plug the USB that charges the phone to it, and then that plug goes
Okay.
into my phone. It's basically like an extension cord.
Mm-hmm.
So it broke at it disconnected at the part where it hit the extension cord. So I had it plugged in,
Oh.
but it wasn't charging.
Okay. That was, yeah. That's annoying.
Yeah. Um, but it is what it is. Um,
Yeah.
anyway, man, what do you think?
So you want to talk about Shang-Chi?
Yeah, we can talk about Shang-Chi.
I don't know. It's just a little change of pace.
Yeah, yeah,
Is there
Shang-Chi.
something else you wanted to talk about?
Yeah, I think I'm good.
Oh, you seemed like you were kind of like, hey, you want to talk about?
Oh, I was gonna say either Gaim, but Shang-Chi's fine too.
Okay.
Whatever you want to start with. I feel like Shang-Chi would be like
What?
a.
Oh, so Shang-Chi? Okay. Wait, it would be a what?
We'll go through Shang-Chi first.
Okay. All right, sure. Why not?
So, what did you think of Shang-Chi?
Okay. So, I've now seen Shang-Chi twice. The first time I gave it like probably like a 7.5 or so, right? Then upon rewatch, I downgraded to like a 7. And so I think Shang-Chi at its core was pretty good, right? But it felt rushed and underdeveloped. Also, not gonna lie, Aquafina greatly impacted my enjoyment of the movie. I'm just not a super huge fan of her, wacky humor that she kind of does.
Was it was humor?
Yeah, exactly. I it's it was rough. I didn't mind her in like Raya and the Last Dragon though, so it was kind of weird. I don't know.
Right. Well, I think it was just that really didn't need to be in the movie, and
Yeah.
she was meant to be comedic, you know, supposed to be the comedic relief, but she just wasn't
Yeah.
funny. Like, remember when like we were watching it and I called that one joke that they were gonna bring back for her?
Yes, yes. Hotel
Uh,
California.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Uh,
I did the same exact thing. I'm like, this is coming back. This is coming back. I
coming
don't
back.
know when, like 30 minutes, 40
It
minutes from
was.
now, it's happening again.
I mean, it was definitely like 30 or 40 minutes later that they literally used
Yeah,
the same joke.
exactly.
Um, but yeah, no, I think she was very funny at all.
Yeah, I don't feel like she added much to the movie like as a whole.
Was she a love interest? I mean, she seems like she was.
Yes. It seems like they started out as friends, and then at the end, it seemed like they had like a romance thing going on.
It was very
But I never
forced.
felt like that was actually developed.
It wasn't. If I mean, at the end they seemed like a couple, but like
Yeah.
they they definitely did not earn that. Uh,
Hmm.
it just seemed like it was kind of like, well, here you go, you're a couple now.
Yeah.
But yeah, no,
Oh. mm, What? No, no, you go.
I totally agree with you about
Oh,
her
oh,
at
okay.
first part of the movie.
The worst? Damn.
Even if I say like the worst, I really mean, um, you know, she wasn't that bad, but she just didn't need.
Hmm. I mean, I understand like she appeals to some people. It's just not my cup of tea personally. I felt like the worst part of the movie was the fact that in like this crazy mysticism, like magic filled world and stuff, Shang-Chi couldn't think for a moment that maybe like his dad actually was like interacting with his mother possibly. He just like completely disregarded it as not even a remote possibility when like there's like these crazy magic rings and people have
True.
talked with the dead before and
Yeah, but
you know this
he
magic and
yeah, but he doesn't know that.
Shang-Chi.
He doesn't know that people have talked to the dead before.
Oh no, but he knows like there's definite like magic and stuff like that in the world.
That
he
does
he he literally even comments, "Mom, you don't have your powers," like when she goes to fight and you know.
wait. I don't remember the part where his mom. Spoilers, by the way. I don't remember when his mom back.
That was the flashback.
Oh, okay. So like so when the mom,
In the flashback when
right?
he
Yes,
was a kid and he's like, "But mom, you don't have your power." And she's like, "It's fine. I'll be fine."
right. Okay, I totally missed that part.
Yeah. So
Like,
we know so he like knows that there's like mysticism and like magic in the world, but he doesn't even think for a moment that his father could possibly actually like be onto something. He just completely disregards everything.
right. No, that's
Everyone does, which I felt
uh,
was really weird. Like there's so much crazy stuff that can go on, and this is just like out of the wheelhouse. I don't know.
that is true. I mean that
Could
it's
have gave him a little more credit, especially like with the magic map and stuff. Like, yeah,
right.
you know they put the little gemstones in the eyes of the dragon, and the dragon's like water,
Yes.
and then the water turned into like a crystal map.
There's
Yeah,
no way my mom's still alive.
yeah.
Then
Witnesses and crazy magic everywhere. Couldn't be talking to her. She dead.
yeah, but it wasn't. So he, it's not that he didn't. Well, okay. So to be fair, he did. It's not that he didn't believe that. Like, well, mom's dead. Like, well, no, I'm hearing her voice. And then it wasn't until he made it to the village, talked to his aunt, believe her that. Yeah,
Yeah, but the whole time he was even before the village, he's like, my dad's insane. He thinks mom's alive and blah 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 blah.
right.
When they were like just like chilling. Like, yeah, she can't be alive. There's no way.
Saw
Like
her
he was
die.
actually telling other characters like that he disbelieves this. And then it's just like cemented as disbelief once he finally gets to the village.
Right.
Spoiler alert.
Yes. No, I think yeah, that
Definitely
makes.
isn't a spoiler free review.
Should I put that in the title?
Possibly? I don't know.
Here, I'm just gonna put it big old.
Big old spoilers everywhere. Also,
So,
you misspelled common.
is it spelled with an E?
Common.
Amen.
M-E-N. Yeah, M-E-N. Yeah.
Say it sooner, damn it.
I wasn't really paying attention.
I not have any more? I don't. Let me just shorten this up a bit. But yeah, so you were talking about how the
Suppose you don't need the PC part on there.
maybe um
Hmm?
but yeah, so you're saying like overall Shang-Chi was you weren't feeling it?
It was it was okay. People were just talking about how great and amazing it was, and I just didn't really feel that.
Very very
I
contrarian
felt
opinion.
I know that's just how I am, I guess. Like we are talking about it before, but like I didn't think Black Panther was super great. Like I thought it was good, but I didn't think it was like, oh, this is like one of the best Marvel movies. I was like, there's quite a few that are just a lot better than this. And
Uh
also, it looked like the intern animated the last fight, so that was pretty bad too.
yeah, I can
I actually thought it was unfinished graphics.
uh,
Like I thought that maybe something happened and they were just, we'll just ship it. Fine.
I think honestly I think this is one of those movies that was like heavily affected by COVID. Um
Shang-Chi?
I think so. I think
Think
it was
so? Yeah.
I think so. I think like um there are aspects of it that like feel like they're missing, but I mean, who knows when
Mhm.
filmed, but I wouldn't doubt it that it
Yeah.
affected by COVID quite a bit. Um,
Yeah. Oh, I have to bounce back
mhm.
to Aquafina again. What what was that arrow shot?
At the end,
She has like a day
hmm,
being generous of archery training. And yet she's just like landing shots like that. I don't.
dude, in the movie,
It was a little too much like Deus Ex Machina type of stuff for me personally.
yeah, okay. Um,
CGI was beautiful though. I'll give it that.
sorry,
CGI looked
okay,
the dragon looked really good.
yeah,
Like the water effects looked really good. Um the monster Cthulhu dragon thingy looked really good. The Soul Taker, the greater Soul Taker, the big boy,
like to suck out his soul.
right? Give him the good suck. But
You
yeah,
ever see Mortal
that's
Com like
about
the
it.
new Mortal Kombat?
The animated one?
No, no, the one live
Oh,
action one.
the new live action. No, I skipped it.
There's literally a part in that movie where Shang Tsung is like taking somebody's soul and
Yeah,
and then I think it's Striker. Wait, no, no, wait. Who's the dude with the? I can't remember. Cabal. Cabal's like he's about to suck
the
out
hook
his.
swords.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, it's Cabal.
he's about to suck out his soul. Like basically narrating that to the audience of what Shang-Chi. Oh, I'm sorry, Shang-Chi. Shang Tsung is
Giving
doing.
some of that good exposition.
Yeah, it's a bit on the nose.
Oh, that's Shang-Chi. He can suck people's souls
Eh,
out.
eh,
Oh, he's trying to suck this guy's soul out.
he's like no, and he's about to suck out his soul. It was just kind of a weird, out of place line, but yeah, that movie sucked.
I'm glad I skipped it. It still looked really cool, but I don't know. I don't I I've seen one really bad Mortal Kombat movie. I don't want to make it two.
Just one?
Yeah, I liked the first one. I thought
Yeah,
Annihilation sucked, but the first one I thought was great.
fair enough. Yeah, I did think the good too.
Like it was campy, but it was like Mortal Kombat campy, right?
Yeah,
So
Mortal
like it
Kombat
was
is
more
canon.
acceptable. Yeah, exactly. And then Annihilation was just a mess.
Dumpster fire.
Yes, yeah, you could say that.
There's a lot of like really quotable lines from that movie,
Oh,
but
of course.
but only because it's bad.
Yeah. I mean, it's no different than like what is it? Is it X-Men 3 where the Juggernaut says I'm the Juggernaut bitch?
I'm the Juggernaut, bitch. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah. X-Men 3 is awful,
Oh yeah,
but
that movie
it still
sucks.
has some quotable lines.
I'm the Juggernaut, bitch is classic.
Yeah, exactly. So like the quality of the movie, doesn't really matter for the quotability of the lines and
Did you
such.
did you see Deadpool 2?
Yes.
Um, I don't know if I think that's a I don't think that's too much of a better representation of Juggernaut. It's definitely Juggernaut, but
Uh yeah.
I mean
I don't
like
know. It seems like they can't really get Juggernaut right.
yeah, he just seemed like a weird big dumb character.
I
Like
mean, he is kind of a weird big dumb character, but they always seem to like emphasize the weird big dumb factors.
yeah, the stupid.
Like, oh, this is his entire character. Oh, I mean, not really.
Yeah.
He's not the smartest, but he's also not a complete idiot.
Yes. Like Deadpool 2 was super like cartoony in a way.
Yeah, yeah. Deadpool 2 was fun though,
Yeah, it's fun. It's just
but
not as good as the first one in my opinion.
that's fair. Yeah,
Uh
first one was really good.
I don't think it recaptured the hilarity of the first.
The lightning in the bottle.
Yeah, I did have that feel. I mean, I'd be surprised to see what the third one is like whenever that happens.
Mm,
But but yeah, so Shang-Chi. Ultimately,
Shang-Chi.
what did you think of it?
Was like a 7 out of 10. It was an okay movie. It wasn't spectacular. I thought all the monsters looked really good.
Hmm.
I thought the dragon looked really good. The CGI in general was pretty damn good, with the exception of when they CGI'd him like running on top of the dragon. That looked really off. But it's really hard to CGI animate something like that.
There was also like I think a
I understand.
complaint that I have is that there's a lot of shit that happened near the end that a lot of it was not explained. But
Yeah, it was kind of like suspend your disbelief and just accept it.
just know that this is the world of mysticism. You
Yeah,
go,
exactly.
joy.
Yeah. And
Um,
then Aquafina walked through the fucking portal.
oh, yeah, you too. You gotta come too.
God damn it. Literally just can't win.
Nope. He's
What's
gonna
she gonna do? Shoot some more arrows?
probably.
With
That's
perfect accuracy after a day of art. I mean, imagine how good she'd be after 2 days of archery practice.
you just gotta breathe, man.
Yeah, right.
What they told her.
But I don't know. The movie, it felt like it could have either been longer
Mm-hmm.
or it could have been shorter. I feel like the length of it just didn't really hit. Because if we made it longer, you'd have more time to like fill out the characters and fill out the world that they were trying to like show. But if it was shorter, then it'd be more compact and more like digestible, I guess, because they could cut out a bunch of the random filler that I felt was there. Like the entire airplane scene could have been cut out,
Airplane scene.
and
What's the airplane
yeah,
scene?
when they're just sitting on the airplane and Aquafina is just like cracking jokes about um the food, like, oh, would you like the chicken or would you like the beef or the vegetarian?
Oh,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
oh
What
yeah,
the? Yeah.
and that went on for like 5 plus minutes, and I'm just
No,
like, why?
because you needed that exposition. Uh,
About what?
remember, they use that part of
Chicken
the
beef or vegetarian?
not that specific part, but they use the airplane part to have Shang-Chi explain why he was in the United States, and why his dad is after him.
Yeah, but they could have just like moved that to before the plane, which would give like Aquafina more characterization slash reason to possibly go with him rather than, oh yeah, no, sure, let's just go.
Yeah, yeah, she really didn't have a reason to be there.
Nope.
That's a um, yeah,
At
man.
least in my mind.
The movie
I don't know.
was messy. I mean, it definitely is like has a lot of mess to it, but it's not. You're right.
Yeah.
It's not a bad movie.
No, it's not a bad movie at
Uh,
all.
I remember like when I was watching it, I a lot of people were like they were really trying to sell that bus scene. Like
Yeah. I did really like the bus scene though.
they were saying that that was the scene that took the longest to film in the entire movie. Um,
I could see it. There was a lot going on for that bus scene.
yeah.
That was probably like one of the best parts of the movie.
Okay.
It seems like their time was like well spent,
So
to me at least.
here's the thing. I think the bus scene was overall it was okay. I wasn't like
Hmm.
blown. I wasn't blown away by it. Um, the action in the movie is not. I didn't like it.
Was it too like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon for you?
Captain America: Winter Soldier had better action than this.
I think Winter Soldier has excellent action.
Yeah, and this movie had like it's a kung fu movie,
Yeah, no,
but with
at its core, it's definitely a kung fu movie.
right with mediocre kung fu.
It's Crouching Tiger, Hidden Marvel.
Right, and I guess that's why I'm sort of disappointed in it, mostly just because I've seen better kung fu movies,
Mhm.
better action. My brother loves kung fu movies. Probably like go a bunch of them that have like
Yeah,
awesome.
I love kung fu movies too. I love wuxia and kung fu movies.
Yeah, and I mean I do too, but it's like there's something about like lower budget kung fu movies with like good stunt. Like usually the person that are acting, they're stunt people. Usually when that happens, the movies are always. But when you have like
Hmm.
actors, usually the action is.
Hmm.
I think
Okay.
that was like really my main complaint about the movie. Obviously, Aquafina is corny, not really funny at all. Um,
I don't mind corny. Aquafina's insufferable. Insufferable.
I don't even know if she was insufferable. She just was like I don't know who wrote her jokes, but they must have hated her.
Unnecessary.
Must have hated her.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. Or they
Um,
thought this is hilarious. Maybe the audit. Maybe we're wrong. It just wasn't for us. I don't know.
true.
Because like your buddy was watching Pancakes, and he really enjoyed Aquafina's jokes.
Yes.
Like for example, so like it appeals to people. So there's like a reason they do it, right?
Has a
It just
very
it just wasn't like, it just didn't appeal to our particular taste, which I understand.
oh boy.
However, for me it hurts the movie. That's about it. That's about it.
Whenever you see Ghostbusters, we're gonna have a conversation.
Huh.
Gonna come back to this.
Okay.
It's gonna come back to this because you'll see what I mean when you. But
All right, that's
there's
fair.
there's some humor, but like it's a similar kind of humor, but they actually pull it off. Um,
Okay.
yeah, they pull it off because it makes sense to the character. Um, but you again, whenever you see that, we can talk about it. But
Okay.
but yeah, no, I thought the movie was pretty good. I was like just thinking about it. I was gonna give it like a 6 out of 10, but because I gave Ghostbusters a 7 out of 10, but that's not. It really feels like they're both like a strong seven. Ghostbusters probably like an eight,
Yeah.
seven.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, no, it's a better movie. Um, so Ghostbusters Afterlife for me is probably like an eight. This is a seven because I feel like giving it a six is like pooping on it.
Yeah, that's kind of how I felt. But granted, my rating did go down on second watch from Shang-Chi.
True,
So,
true. Yeah. I mean, I'll
because
take.
I saw more flaws. It was like, whoa, this is so pretty and everything looks so cool. But then on second watch, I was like, okay, wait a second. This doesn't make sense. This doesn't make sense. This is rushed and
Yeah.
like I started analyzing it more than like maybe it's just better as just like a popcorn flick.
Yeah, you just gotta turn
You
off your
just kind
mind.
of yeah, you just kind of turn off your brain and you just enjoy it for what it is.
I don't think
Like I said,
it.
it's not a bad movie.
Yeah, I don't think
It's
it's like
just
top tier. Like it was definitely oversold. I think,
yeah,
but I mean, that's their job.
exactly. Yes,
Um.
they sell it.
But yeah. Anyway. But yeah, no, I thought it was overall. I thought it's a good watch if you have like Disney Plus, especially. Then I'd say hell yeah, go for it. Um. Let's see. Did you want to move on to Gaim?
Sure. Yeah, we can talk about Common Rider Gaim.
Yeah. Uh. So, what did you think of the Gaim?
The
Oh,
movie?
I'm sorry, not the movie Gaim, the TV show Gaim. My mind's
Okay.
still stuck on.
So I think Gaim is a really good Common Rider show.
Mhm.
However, I don't think it's a good representation of what Common Rider really is.
Hmm.
Because it it gets rid of the standard format for Common Rider, which is built on either like the monster of the week plus like plot stuff or like the 2 episodes per monster with plot stuff. However, Gaim instead goes with a more free form, kind of like flowing story and narrative. So like it's not it's a good show, but it's a poor representation of Common Rider, if that makes any sense. Because if you watch Gaim as your first one, you're like, "Oh, this is great." And you're going to watch another one, you're like, "Wait, this is different."
Mhm.
So like, yeah, that's kind of where I am with Gaim. I don't think
When
it's a very good entry show
yeah,
it just
especially
creates false, expectations.
I think so too. I think that was like my only problem with it was essentially just like it was very different, and the fact that it was free forming and sorry,
Mm.
too much soda. Uh, the fact that it was free forming made it really difficult to kind of like take when you're binge watching it. There's a lot of shit that happens that just winds up not even mattering
Yeah.
ultimately by the end of the show. It's like, you know, they build up Michi to be like this dude who's like he it would have I think it would have been better if he was like ultimately the final bad guy.
Maybe I I kind of liked the rivalry that they built between Kaito and Kota being like two sides of a coin, right? Because you have Kota who believes in like helping people and everyone should work together towards like a common goal. But then on the other hand, you have Kaito who believes that people should focus on themselves and that only like the strong deserve to like move forward. He doesn't really
But
believe in like teamwork and stuff like that.
a
He
hard
doesn't
Darwinist.
believe. Yeah, he is. He is a very hard Darwinist. Exactly. And so I think it's like a good like, juxtaposition, I guess, kind of thing. Where you have one side, the other side,
Right,
complete opposites, essentially. The only thing they really share is they both have like their own like code of honor. Like Kaito strictly adheres to his code of honor.
right. Uh, yeah. I mean, like, okay. Well, what about this? What if instead of them building up to fight each other, they instead build up fight each other for the chance to fight me?
That might have worked.
Yeah.
But I feel like Michi's more of a schemer slash a plotter than
Mhm.
anything else though. And so I don't really see how he could climb to the top with the methods that he employed.
Right. You think he's more of like a right hand man type person?
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
I
Because he
just.
was he always kind of took that position, right? Like he was like the right hand man for Kota,
Hmm?
and then he was the right hand man for Takatora,
Hmm?
and then he was the right hand man for Ryoma, and then he was the right hand man for the Overlord, Redo, and then he kind of just like went back to Takatora basically and Kota.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, he's
but
he's the definition of like a secondary character.
that okay. So yeah. So that makes sense. I mean, when you really break it down, he doesn't. He's not even the strongest comic writer. He's just there to help.
Yeah,
Like,
he's actually one of the weakest.
yeah, he just has a gun that barely ever works, except for in the
I mean,
plot.
the gun works fine. He just can't aim. He's got that stormtrooper syndrome going on.
Uh, but I mean, I
Unless he
thought
needs to shoot someone in the back,
that's
then
true.
he's an eagle eye
Spot on. Um,
American sniper, Japanese sniper. I don't know.
or like I thought. Okay, so for me, I think the thing is like when you're watching the show, the amount of like plot lines that develop over the time is a lot. It's like a breakneck pace
Yes.
for like almost 50 episodes.
Yeah.
Which is like instead of like using a few of those plot lines, they use like, oh, there's like, fuck it, just do everything.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens. And I'm just like the whole time I'm like trying to take in things that happened before and like trying to decide whether those things matter or they do matter or they don't matter. A lot of them didn't matter by the end of the show.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, a lot doesn't matter by the end of the show in general, just because of the way that events turn and go and characters go and stuff like that.
right, and like you might consider that poor writing if someone makes like a line that doesn't go anywhere. You know what I mean? Like the whole dancing thing, like was essentially could have just been ripped straight out of the show.
Well, that was kind of like the beginning. That was to like kind of set up the world and set up like the competition level for the show,
Mhm.
and then they resolved the dancing. However, other characters kept dancing, throughout the show, and they were shown. So, like, I don't really feel like that was bad writing, per se, but you could probably, like, cut it out and substitute it with something else, and it wouldn't change too terribly much. In fact, they literally do that in the soccer movie. They supplement dancing with soccer, and
Uh,
you get the same basic thing. So like you could supplement the competitive dancing with any kind of other competitive. Like they could play basketball for or anything, literally anything,
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
and you would have the same like basic formula there.
That's true. Um, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't really really like the movies.
That's fair.
I thought the movies were terrible. Um,
Oh, terrible.
they're they're they're, they're pretty like pretty mediocre. They're just like, they're coming in, they're doing their job, and that's it. Um,
Well, so like for the main show, the writer was Gen Urobuchi, who wrote things like Fate Zero and Madoka Magica, stuff like that. That people are like, man, this is just like a fucking banger. This is great. Things animes that people love. And so when he got like brought on to Gaim, everyone had really high expectations. And I think overall he delivered. However, for example, with the soccer movie, he was mostly just like a reference for keeping the world intact and didn't have like a super huge part in writing the movies. And with the after stories, the guidance, he was not even part of the writing team at that point.
so it isn't
And
like
I think it shows
right. Yeah, I think so too.
because things aren't as like tight anymore. Things aren't as like together. There are more um inconsistencies and straight out plot holes that occur.
Right. Um, so isn't like Madoka? He said were the two things that he directed, Madoka Magica and
And Fate Zero.
Fate Zero. Aren't those like shows that have like sort of like very silly like baseline ideas, and then they get very serious with those ideas?
Yeah, like Madoka Magica is basically okay, here's magical girls, right? You know, like Sailor Moon, Pretty Cure, that kind of stuff. But like, what if it was more realistic? Like what would actually happen to these girls like if they lost or something like that? And then they show that darker side in like Madoka Magica.
Do they die?
Yeah, characters die in Madoka Magica.
They go to the shadow games.
Sure.
They play shadow games. Anyway,
Shadow Realm?
yeah, yeah, they go to shadow games.
No.
Um, but
Yeah, characters do die in Madoka Magica.
okay, all right, that makes sense.
Yeah, he's known as the Butcher because characters just get killed off constantly in his shows.
Straight up game.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
pretty much.
fair enough.
I would love to see a joint writing between Gen and freaking George R. It would just be a slaughter.
It might just
Like we
be.
should kill off this guy. And George R. Martin's like, hell yeah, we should. We can kill off his whole family.
It makes you wonder what they're gonna do with uh yeah, what's that Dark Souls game?
Elden Ring.
Elden Ring, yeah.
Yeah, George R. R. Martin's writing that,
Oh,
but he's writing the world for that. So
I feel like they just slapped his name on it. I don't really know if he's gonna do anything important.
I don't know. The game's taken long enough. He could have been a part of it. He's
Um,
a very slow writer.
yeah,
Very slow.
all the people, waiting for that apparently the last book that's supposed to be coming out.
Last two books.
Okay. Wow. Um, yeah, but here he is making Elden Ring. Ever.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, you know.
I mean, I think what I would have liked to have seen is a story like that's a little bit more like a little more simple, but like a simpler story that like kind of elaborates on itself as it goes. This one does that, but has like lots of like strings that go off everywhere that like boy, I did
Yeah.
none of this actually matter. It feels like they wrote it as it came out, something like that. I don't know. That's a weird thing.
It's possible. But what I think they probably did was they took the ending and then wrote backwards. That's how it felt. Like because in the very first episode, it opens to like this faction war, right?
Right.
With like some characters just looking on, but
Yeah,
we
that
see we see Kota and we see Kaito. Well, we don't know that's Kota and Kaito. We see them riding towards each other in like a final like war battle, right? So I feel like they took the end and then wrote backwards to get to wherever.
yeah, and I think
Hi,
that
cat.
that was like one of the things I was annoyed with was I never actually got to see a giant ass like war battle between like three different factions of people, and I was like just waiting
Well,
for.
that was an alternate reality. That was explained.
Oh, it was.
Yes. Yes. When Maya is doing her timey wimey bullshit, she goes to that timeline somehow, and she sees that occurring, and
Okay.
DJ drops like a bunch of exposition about what's going on. He's like, yes, this is just one of many timelines. These two are always fated to like battle and stuff like that.
I think I might have like enjoyed watching that because to me, I had forever thought that's like what they were gonna build up to. So I was like, okay, so they have a giant war that they're having at the beginning of the show. They tease that. Okay, how are they gonna get there? And that was how my mind was working. And then as the show went, I was like, this doesn't seem like it's gonna happen at all.
Well, you do get a giant war at the end, but it's just between Kota's side and Kaito's side, and it's just fought with Inves.
Even though like Kaito doesn't even really like care about the people who are on his side
No, not really.
by the end of it. Um, but yeah, no, I thought the show was overall good. I think it's better than Forza. Uh,
Yeah, well, Forza is just another different type of show.
exactly. Yeah, they're very very different. But I mean, I think that's one of the more interesting parts about Kamen Rider is that they can take the same idea and just change it so many different ways. Whereas,
Yeah,
like, yeah, something like Sentai or Power Rangers, specifically Power Rangers, where they kind of do that, but like essentially at its very core, it's still going to be the.
yeah. Well, it's different audiences. Like so, like Power Rangers, it's for kids, right?
Yeah,
Kamen Rider is for families. Everybody sits around and they're like, "Oh, Kamen Rider's on. Let's all watch Kamen Rider." And so they have to have enough for the adults to enjoy it, but also enough for like the kids to enjoy it.
yeah. I guess it's like a Pixar movie or something.
Yeah, kind of, yeah. They're trying to hit both audiences consistently. And that's led to like the success of the franchise as a whole. Like for example, Super Sentai,
Yep.
it's failing. It's aimed like majority at children and it's failing. It's like sales are down, people are losing interest in it. Um it only did like one fourth the sales of the last Common Rider did,
Oh,
for
wow.
example. Yeah, it's like it's failing. Like if it has like another like bad season or two, they might just axe the entire thing.
Wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's ridiculous. How's it doing stateside? Power Rangers, if you don't.
I don't know how Power Rangers is doing. I haven't really followed it. I know they have a new one, so I guess it can't be doing that badly. However, if Sentai's doing badly and it gets canceled, Power Rangers has nothing to pull from anymore.
True.
And I don't know if they actually want to foot the bill of making their own stuff. Because currently, it's like 75% Japanese footage and like 25% of their own filming, right?
Yeah.
And so it's like, I don't know. Which is considerably more than it used to be.
Right.
Because it used to be pretty much any time like they were in suits, that was Japanese footage.
Yep.
Just straight up. With like maybe 5%, maybe 5% of it being like their own footage that they did. Like with what was it? Oh, Lightspeed Rescue, the Titanium Ranger. That was America exclusive, if I remember right.
Yes, I
So
remember
any scene with him
hearing that.
was footage that they shot for the actual show instead of just using footage that was already there.
um,
But yeah,
I,
I
I
think I'm good. I give it like probably like an 8.5 out of 10.
I'll give it a 7.
That's fair.
I liked it. I mean, the forms are cool and everything. I just wish like the story was like I wish it was a little bit different. I think it was a little bit better for me. The story's still good, but just the amount.
You wanted more like cohesion, right?
Yes, and there's because I just kept like every like couple of episodes, I had more questions, and some of them
Yeah.
I kept them in the back of my mind, and I was like, okay, maybe that's gonna lead somewhere, but it doesn't. And
Yeah.
I think that's where I got frustrated. But I think it wouldn't be as frustrating if you were watching it like week by week. But if you're watching it like in like sittings, yeah,
Yeah.
it can
We were
kind of
watching like 7 episodes,
yeah,
8 episodes, sometimes 10 episodes.
it can be very overwhelming to take in that
Yeah.
much information. And like I wish a lot of the characters were a little bit have more time to be fleshed out. Like Takatora, obviously he gets his own
Yeah.
episode later. Um,
He gets an entire stage play.
right, yeah,
Oh,
I've never seen it. Apparently, it's bad.
you don't need to. It's fine.
Um, there's that, and then like Michi is just like kind of almost like a like I feel like he only exists to, like advance the plot. But I mean,
That's fair. He's
uh,
always trying to hold someone back or push someone forward
forget what he. He like essentially
by
seems like
pushing someone forward.
yeah. He seems like a nice kid, but then you realize that he's ultimately just a rich kid. Like he's like, I want this thing, and I don't care who else wants it either, or whatever. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, man, I thought I thought it was a good show, and I'm excited to see what we're gonna watch. Exade.
Yes, Kamen Rider Xaid. It's
Uh,
based on doctors and video games, and they fight viruses. You can
I'm
see the overlap here.
I'm fucking.
Viruses, video games, computers, doctors, viruses.
This
They
sounds
knew what they were doing.
this sounds wild, and I'm just
It's pretty
interested
wild.
how they're gonna pull this shit off.
The design is so 90s. It's crazy.
As I
Like
think,
bright pink,
Pink.
bright pink, bright pink,
Uh,
bright pink game controller on his chest. Like it's wild.
I think like one big aspect of Kamen Rider is like how the hell are they gonna pull this off? And then that's literally how each series starts. I'm like, okay, but how are they gonna do it? And it just winds up being this kind of roller coaster ride of ridiculous.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, pretty much. I
so
I'm a firm believer in there being a common writer for everyone just because they're all so like varied. Like
I
Forza is like more lighthearted and like fun and like funny. And then you got Gaim, which is more, deep, dark, depressing. Then you have other ones that like kind of strike a balance between.
agree. Yeah, I think.
They're all different themes.
Oh yeah, like very different themes.
Yep.
Like just watching two series, like Forza and this, they're wildly different.
Yeah.
Watch out, cat. And how else? How else did you feel about Forza?
Forza?
No,
Ah,
talking
Forza.
to the
Wow.
cat.
Wow.
Uh, uh,
Happy kitty.
but yeah, you want to move over to the video game aspect of the
Yeah, sure.
trucking? So what do you want to talk about first?
Bone trucking.
We can talk about Project L or Multiverse, or even the KOF beta.
Ah, dealer's choice.
I mean, I don't know too much about Project L. I've only seen one trailer, but I was kind of wondering what you thought.
Okay, well, there's two trailers. The first one was basically, hey, this game exists.
Yes.
And then the second one we got is, okay, here's kind of what we're looking to do. Like the game's evolved from a one-on-one fighter to, and now they're looking to make it like a two-on-two assist-based fighter, which I think is a better play. But so as a League player, I'm overall excited. But as a fighting game player, I also think the game just looks like really solid. Like the animations look really clean. It looks like there's a bunch of like care and love being put into it. It has the freaking Cannon Brothers at the head of it. So that's awesome. Literally like the people that made GGPO rollback,
Hmm?
and they're working on like a new version for the game, and then they're also adding like the Riot's like massive like server base to it, so it's server based rollback, so it might be even like lower, cleaner gameplay than usual. It could really shape up to be something special, I think.
I definitely think that.
But
I
it's
mean,
super early.
it is
Super early.
very early.
We're probably looking at like 2 years out or something based on how they were talking about it.
So I think really the big question here is because I'm not a lead. Um, I've tried it and it's um
That's fair. Community sucks.
yeah. Um, it's- anyway, the little I did play it, everything's always your fault that everybody loses.
Yeah.
Essentially how it goes.
Duh. Why would you take responsibility for your own actions when you can blame someone else?
True. I have a friend that does that in every base game. He
Nice.
um even though he's more
Goals.
experienced. But anyway, uh I think the big thing about the Project L trailer that what they've shown, what the sneak peek, whatever the hell you want to call it, um,
Uh-huh.
is that Riot is making the game,
Yeah.
and this means that the game could be free to play, and
Yes.
that it's
I
gonna
think it's probably looking at free to play.
and it's gonna be well done,
Yeah.
because they have the cash for. So,
Yes.
so you gotta think it's gonna bring a lot of new people to playing fighting games, that probably have never tried them. Uh, and they could possibly, because like I mean they have they have a lot more money than Capcom does.
Yeah.
So, they're going to be able to afford the time it takes to make this shit perfect.
Yeah.
And
No, they're putting all of the time and the effort into the game, and that's really good. I I I think they're really gonna make something good, especially
yes,
based on what we've seen. What we've seen is just amazing for like early work.
yeah, it looks like about as good as like maybe Power Rangers, um, Battle for the Grid.
No, I thought it looked way better than Power
Oh
Rangers.
no, it looks better than Power for the Grid, but like it's also it is a hyper fighting game
Yes.
versus fighting game.
Yeah.
Since
I mean, we saw how crazy some of the stuff is. Like you're watching the character Echo, right? Like he has literally like a rewind. So like he'll do a move and then it'll leave an after image and then you can port back to that after image and do a different move.
yeah,
The mix-ups from that are going to be pretty insane.
I still think that ultimately it's gonna exclude a casual audience, but could be like you know was it Rising Thunder where they tried to like they didn't want to make inputs, they made directional. Uh,
Well, the team behind Rising Thunder is working on Project L.
that doesn't surprise me.
So,
Um,
we might have a similar vein, but it'll probably be way more successful because it has the League of Legends Riot Games tagged onto it.
yeah, I mean, I think that Rising Thunder really didn't get a chance because it didn't have a very big budgeted team behind it.
Yeah.
And eventually, like the project got down and it became free to play. And but yeah, I think the only other game that really has done that is Grand Blue Versus. I can think of off the top of my head, uh,
Yeah.
where they use the directional, um, but which is a lot more beginner friendly because feel that inputs are a learning barrier, which they kind of are. Um, but I mean, then that brings up the question of: do you think that complicated inputs are a must for fighting games?
Well, so it's funny you bring up Grand Blue Fantasy because I felt like they did it really well. Do
Hmm?
you do you know? Have you played that game? Do you
I
know how it functions?
I played the beta. I didn't.
Okay. So then you know that you can choose to do the simple inputs, right? Or if you do the actual inputs, you'll get more damage, for example.
Right.
Yeah. So they allow you to have the simpler option, but if you choose to, you can have the more advanced option and get actual reward for doing the advanced option, which I
Right.
think strikes a pretty damn good balance between accessibility and like still adding player execution and depth to it, at least in like the regard for those kind of inputs.
Yeah. I think Smash pretty much did the same thing too with their fighting game. I don't know if you're familiar, but with like Ryu, Ken, Terry, you can actually do the inputs on the stick
Yes, yeah.
and do more damage. Um, Kind of reminds me of the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Rising Thunder had that same thing, but
Oh, I don't think so. It's been a long time.
I didn't even get a chance to play it. By the time I tried to play it, the beta was
Oh,
over.
that's a shame.
The beta was over, so I only got to see other people playing it.
Mm.
And
It
you,
was
like,
it was it was an interesting, fun game.
yeah,
It's a shame that not much came of it.
I mean, I don't, I think it had potential, but they never ultimately wound up selling the game. So, uh, I think it's still available for free somewhere. Can't remember.
Oh, might be on Steam still.
I don't think it's on Steam. I think it's like on GOG, Epic Games, or something like that. Could be wrong.
No, no, it's not on Steam.
Yeah,
Oh
because
well.
But that also had rollback, and obviously, like this better have rollback too because, you know,
It, yeah, it has rollback.
rollback.
It's
Okay,
it's literally it's literally been confirmed, and the people who made rollback netcode are working on
yeah, the
it. So
GGO people.
yeah, the
Uh,
Cannon brothers.
yeah. Wait, are those the two like twin dudes?
Yes.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
them.
yeah, yeah. That's them. That's them.
Awesome. Yeah, they.
They made GGPO.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah. So we are getting probably like the primo experience if they're behind it
That's gonna be good.
for netcode.
Um,
Yeah.
you
It's
know,
it's probably going to be the best netcode.
really,
I don't see how this could really screw up. Like they're doing full server based rollback plus they're adding like Riot's direct connection technology to it for like streamlined routing. Like it's I think it's gonna be pretty insane. I wouldn't be shocked if like I could just hop on and play with someone in like fucking Japan or whatever and it be playable.
well, I would be surprised if it. I mean, it's good if it's comparable to Guilty Gear Strive.
Yeah.
That's my gold standard so far for like online play because even like KOF 15 with the beta this weekend, Strive still felt better than that. It wasn't until like I plugged it in, like I went direct in, that things felt way better. By the way, if you're playing the beta this weekend, for God's sakes, put a wire in, because
Wire up your shit.
wire up your shit.
We can't have this Wi-Fi. You can't play fighting games on Wi-Fi. It just doesn't work right yet.
It doesn't like but yeah, it was not. It was just I was wireless, it was
Save everyone's
garbage.
sanity.
And I was playing the same person. Once I wired in, it
Yeah,
was like a different game.
different game completely. Yeah. Well, I
But
was I was watch I was watching you play and I was like, this is awful.
yeah,
And then you mentioned like, oh yeah, I'm not wired. And I'm like, oh my god. Okay. Well, that explains a lot.
I just need to get
And
that.
then after you were wired, it was just so silky. And I was like, oh, okay,
Yeah, it was nice
that's fine.
once I became wired in. I really need to use that
Yeah.
splitter, so I don't have to.
Yeah, you definitely need a splitter.
Um, but yeah, I just hope that everything comes out great. I haven't seen anyone that like I really connect with yet, for character wise, and that it's a hyper fighting game. It's a little bit more of a turn off because I know that there's gonna be some bullshit once the game gets going.
Oh, definitely. We're probably
Um,
looking at like 10-second plus block strings, baby.
oh my god, blocking is not fun, man. Just want to match some buttons.
but then you get yeah, that's fair. Mashing is pretty fun. That's why I played Lily for a bit.
Lily, Lily
Yeah,
from.
in Tekken.
Oh right, yeah, no, fuck, dude, that character Lily is so annoying. Like her jab is obnoxious to deal with.
I like to mash. I like to push buttons. She's like, "Hey, push buttons." I'm like, "Damn right, I will."
Who was it? Um, God, it begins with an M. Can't remember his name. He's the Lily player that was here last weekend.
Hmm.
Anyway, doesn't matter. He has a really good Lily.
Yeah.
Good at pressuring.
Ah,
Um,
nice. But yeah,
but
Project L looks great.
yeah, I'm excited to see what
We've only
happens.
seen like Darius, Echo, Ari, Katarina, and Jinx.
Jinx.
Yeah, we only seen 5 characters.
Hmm.
Yeah, Jinx was the one with the minigun
Oh
in the
yeah,
demo.
that
Yeah.
like
And
shooting.
then Echo was the one with the rewinds.
Yes. Which I'm like, that looks like it's gonna be broken. Um,
It
just off
could
like a
be,
surface
yeah.
level type
It
thing.
looks it looks it looks too universal, I guess. Cuz like he can use it to mix up, he can use it to apply basic pressure,
Hmm.
he can use it for combo ending. He can use it for spacing.
But
It's kind of like a Swiss Army knife. It,
yeah,
I think the game's gonna have ridiculous amount of depth.
I hope so.
We saw
Um,
Ari. Ari was cool. She was like flying around in the air and doing bullshit. That was cool.
is she the cat,
She
the
was the fox. She was the
fox girl
fox girl.
wings?
Yeah,
Yeah. Um,
no wings,
okay.
tails. Not nine tails,
Nine tails, full picks.
pretty
Um,
much. And we saw Darius, which was the big guy in armor with the axe.
oh yeah.
He looked really cool. We only saw a little bit of him though. Like he was doing the same stuff he did in the first reveal, where you like hit them and then grabbed them out of the air and smashed them on the ground.
Um,
Looks really cool though, and it all looks super clean. The art style is great. The characters just pop from the background. Like you can completely tell what's going on, which is my grievous sometimes with Tekken. Like in some of like the darker stages, or even the super bright stages, you kind of like can lose your character or lose the opponent a little bit. It's kind of eh. Characters just don't really pop from the background.
Volcanic Brim.
Yeah, exactly. There you
Um,
go. See?
uh, but yeah, that I mean, I'm interested to see what else they come out with. Um, Now, I mean, I'm a little bit hesitant to like say, I would just wind up shitting on League of Legends that I don't know anything about. It's like I don't, I can't really speak from a place of experience. So I'm not gonna. I mean, I'm just not gonna. I just know that the game's not for me. But I'm interested
That's
to
fair.
see where this goes, and then I'll kind of make my. But another fighting game was announced this week. That was Multiverses. Um,
Yes.
and I'm like, everyone's making a Smash game now. Damn.
Yeah. Well, Smash has just been ridiculously successful, and we've known for a while that it's like it was coming to a close, right? And so we have people scrambling to fill that like gap that it's just gonna kind of like leave for a bit. And so far, Multiverses looks like the best like Smash clone on offer that's coming up. Like Nick was Nick's budget really showed, right? It, you you had like for example, one of the devs for Nick Brawl Stars, right? He um he tweeted in response to the what? Oh, he tweeted in response to the multiverses reveal.
Mhm.
He's like, wow, look how much you can get done with like proper time, and you really take your time, and you could really tell like that they had a good budget for like their game, and that Warner Brothers really cared about what you wanted to do. And like he really kind of like gritting his teeth in these responses, kind of, like taking kind of like subtle jabs at Nick, I'm assuming. He's like, wow, yeah, like voice acting really like brings the characters more to life. And
Yes. I mean, it really seemed that like that game kind of like, obviously it's Twitch, so it's gonna happen, but it kind of came and went. Um, I don't think it's dead.
I think the player base came and went. Like, I'm sure if I like look it up on Steam charts,
Mhm.
let me just look it up. Um, let's see. Current players is 132. The 30-day average is 250. It has lost 80% of its players over the last 30 days.
Holy fuck.
Yeah. So, like, I don't think that game has any real like staying power, unfortunately. And it's a damn shame because like I think if they had more money and they were allowed more time, they could have had like something really good.
Yeah, that game seemed like it
Because
had
they were
a
definitely trying to appeal to the melee audience with this one. Like how fast the game is and how just, hyped up on caffeine it feels. Yeah. I'm kind of glad I didn't buy it,
same.
but I also don't like to see games fail.
Uh, yeah. I mean, like if a game's gonna do well, I'm more
This
likely
is
to
an EA game.
I'm more likely to possibly buy it in the future than like right off the bat.
Yeah.
Um,
I think personally, I'm kind of over pre-ordering games
oh,
and
same.
like picking games up early because releases have been just kind of a huge shit show, to put it bluntly. Like freaking Battlefield just came out and that has just a slew of issues. That game's kind of a mess. And then we have like Nick Stars. That game, pretty big mess. Like we had people just like 100 to zeroing with like pretty much no effort. That was that was like the core of Nick Stars.
Is
Just super easy to just kill someone. Just poof, round start, you're dead. First hit, touch of death, it's over.
damn.
Yeah,
I
and
haven't
then
watched
it
that
created
much.
like a huge disparity, right? So there was like three or four characters that were just way above everyone else.
Like Marvel 2.
Yeah, yeah, like Marvel too.
It only has like like three teams that are good,
Yeah.
and then like maybe the other teams are just like a combination of those nine characters. But anyway, yeah, no, I totally agree. The game, it felt lifeless without voice acting and music. The music felt like
Yeah.
stock as shit. Um, and I think that was like my
It was, I think. I'm pretty sure they went on to royalty free music and they're like, all right, this track works.
we need something that's like Hawaiian. Boom, here you go, SpongeBob
Yeah.
stage.
Well, I saw a great example. Somebody modded in voices
Mhm.
and it really like elevated the overall feel of the game. Just like having like that voice acting in there made the game feel a little bit better. Like it's weird, right? Because like you want your characters to feel like they're those characters, and then in the Nick Star Brawl whatever, um, they sometimes look like the character, but they don't really feel like the character because that voice element is missing. I feel.
Yeah, like imagine as well if like they kind of they had like the like theme song from like Hey Arnold or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you're beating your
They
friend's
didn't.
ass to like the intro to Doug. I don't know.
That'd
That
be
would
sick.
that would be sick. Like I would be all about how stupid I would be all like into how dumb that sounds. Like maybe you have like an Are You Afraid of the Dark stage with that intro music or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Could be like
I mean,
Luigi's
hell, you
Mansion.
could kick the shit out of someone's face to the fucking what was SpongeBob.
Yeah.
Could be
Oh,
anything.
imagine how many people would just be singing like the theme song to their whatever childhood
Yeah,
cartoon show. Like that would be rad. Like I think that would
yeah.
be fun and like whereas
Or they
like
could just have like energized music. The music for Nick All Stars is so boring. I feel like for a fighting game, you need like more high energy kind of music than what they chose. They're like, oh, let's go with like a soft Hawaiian theme. That'll help our fighting game.
I feel like everything sounds like a soft Hawaiian theme in that fucking game.
It all sounds the same.
Yeah,
It's
it's like
all just it's so generic.
uh,
Um when Max was like reviewing like the trailers and stuff like that for that game, he would just put his own music on. He's like, "See, this is so much better." And I was like, "It is. It's just so much better. It brings the game to like the forefront. It gives you like that hype feeling that you're
yeah,
kind of missing.
yeah.
Music's really important."
It's missing that energy. That
Yeah, exactly.
like it look. I mean, the gameplay is probably fun too. It just it's like as soon as I watch it, I'm like, there's no. This doesn't feel like there's anything special about this, you know.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
I think that's why I kind of like was hesitant into getting into it. Um, yeah, like I'm sort of like I thought, you know, in that same way, I thought that being able to play Fighters 15 was going to be special, because I would get to play 98 again. Like with
Mm,
people getting into the game, I would be able to learn it alongside other people. Really,
yeah.
ultimately, I just want to play King of Fighters 98.
Ooh, that's never
I want to
that's
play a
never the goal of a fighting game.
I want to play a
I
dead
just want to go
game.
back to an older version. Oh man, I can't even.
I want to play a dead fighting game. Damn it! Well, it's not dead completely. It just gets revived, and new players don't start it very often.
Well,
Uh,
that's because they get the crap kicked out of them by someone who's been playing it for the last, 10 years plus.
I don't understand like why I have such an attraction to dead game. I have a lot like I really do like a lot of dead games.
Kicking up some of that Garo Mark of the Wolves, am I right?
Dude, I fucking love it. Garo is great. Um, I mean, because like growing up, those were the games that I was playing because I was like I didn't have money for new games and I play them on an emulation or
I
whatever.
feel that.
And you know, uh, like that or like stupid Super Nintendo game, like shit nobody really cares about, and like I'm the only one that's like, yeah, but like uh, Dragon Ball Z Hyper Dimensions on the Super Nintendo, like, can we just play that? Because like it's stupid and I have
Oh
fun.
man, that game's a mess.
Yeah. Or Sailor Moon, Shiki Shoujo Sailor Moon S or something like that. The
Oh yeah, I
broken
played
ass,
that too.
yeah, the broken ass Super Nintendo game that has like full screen
Sailor
dashes.
Jupiter Simulator.
Yeah, full screen dashes, man grabs, and
Yeah,
projectiles.
and
Um,
projectiles.
yeah,
Full screen
full
projectiles.
screen projectiles. Um,
Instantaneous full screen projectiles.
oh my god. But yeah, um,
With touch of death.
I like that dumb shit. That's why I like
That
Tobal
dumb
2.
shit.
I like that dumb shit. That's why I like Tobal 2 because it's like do stupid stuff. That's why I like Link in Soul Calibur 2.
So you must love like era guys.
I like Air Guys, yeah. I like it.
Yeah.
It's not a bad game. It's not my favorite. See, the problem is that you know the PS2 game The Bouncer?
Yeah.
The the,
Unfortunately.
the same people that made that made Air Guys. Same company.
It shows.
Um and I grew up playing The Bouncer. Friends, like four player. Four player Bouncer is great. Um
I played a little bit of that.
if you get like all of the unlocked abilities and everything, that's a good fucking time. Good time. Like I would recommend it. There's like tons of broken shit. Like there's a move where the main character can like what is it? He can uppercut you onto the second floor of a there's like this little okay, there's the bottom stage and then there's stairs leading up to this little platform with a piano. He can uppercut you onto that little platform and nobody else can do that in the game.
Okay.
Yeah, and then
What's the point of uppercutting them onto the little platform?
I think it like glitches them out. Sometimes they'll get stuck up there.
Oh. Oh, okay.
Also, if you hit somebody on
That's unfortunate.
if you hit somebody on the stairs, they just ragdoll and slide all the way down. Kind of hilarious.
That's dumb.
It is dumb. But there's like,
The stupid fighting game I like is Urban Reign.
oh,
That's my stupid fighting game of choice.
oh yeah, Urban Rain is up there for me too. It's right up there next to the
Super
bouncer.
super unbalanced. Like, oh man, this character is like 800 times better than this character.
It's true. Yeah, I mean
Because stats matter a lot.
they do. Yeah. Except like I said, if I think I've said this to you before, but when you beat the game, you unlock the ability to max out everyone's stats.
Yeah, yeah, you can equalize them.
Yeah. So essentially,
But then some move sets are just
it's just better than others.
insane. Like, I don't remember his name, but he's like the right hand man to the final boss. Crap. I don't remember his
Not the
name.
sword dude. Sword
No,
dude
not
is
the
the
sword dude. The kick dude.
Park. No.
Oh, Park's really good though.
Yeah, Park is good.
Park
He's
Park Park is really good, but it's the other dude. I don't know, but like his movesets are just like super long range kicks,
hmm,
and then he has like a couple really good grapples that target the head and just demolish people
yeah.
because head damage is absolutely king in that game.
Damage is king. Because you once you get punched after you hit the red, get stunned.
Yeah, it's just rap.
Yeah. Well, the other thing about the bouncer too is like, some moves are unblockable. They have unblockables in that game. But they also,
Okay.
yeah, like, there's a move that like takes up 75% of your health. And some characters have shorter life bars than others.
Of course they do.
Yeah. So I think his name is Wong, like Wong Liun or something like that. Like he has this move where he walks up to you with his hands behind his back, and then he just like palms, and like he has like a walk cycle like yell second.
Oh, okay.
Like ah ha 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 ha. No, he doesn't laugh or anything. Just like walks up to you and he goes like,
Oh,
"Hah!" And so what we do is we go to the smallest stage, and the four of us would pick Wong, and then once the match started, we activate that palm, and we see who would live.
okay.
Because he just like auto track, like walking to the center, and everyone would just palm each other.
Weird. Okay.
Yeah, it was a good time. Uh,
Early testing.
yes, early testing.
But
Um,
multiverses.
holy shit, we
Multiverse.
were supposed to be talking about that, weren't we?
Yeah, we were.
Yeah, no, I'm interested to see what the cast is gonna be like. Uh, considering that it's like supposed to be 2v2 based fighting game. With in like pretty much the DC universe properties by them. You have Batman and
Yep.
I wouldn't be surprised to see like a Mortal Kombat character pop in there.
Oh, we're totally getting Scorpion or Sub Zero.
Yeah, that's what I was
They're
thinking.
they're they're 100% in DLC though, right? Like DLC.
Um,
I'm curious how you unlock characters, or if you have to unlock characters, since it's a free to play game.
Probably
What
not.
they're going for, you might have to unlock characters. Oh, but
I think one of the weirder aspects of it is like something like where they show like Wonder Woman using her whip and like saving somebody from a ledge.
yeah,
Uh,
she lassos them.
the
Her
teammate.
lasso of truth. Yeah, yeah, saves the teammate from falling because it's they built from the ground up for like 2v2s, right? And I think they're gonna hit like an interesting crowd with that focus because I know there's a lot of people that enjoy like playing Smash in like 2v2s and stuff like that. And so I think it's
Yeah.
gonna bring in that audience and give them their like competitive game that they've been kind of like probably wanting, like that has more focus on their particular way they want to play rather than having it be a side thing.
Right. Do you have any like particular hopes for the game? Generally, you think you'll be playing it?
Um, I think I'm gonna play it. I don't know how much, but I just hope that it's fairly well balanced. I hope that the rollback netcode is good. Like we have
Definitely.
confirmation it is rollback netcode, but we don't know anything about it. It could be another, like Street Fighter 5 or Nick Brawl Stars where there's like teleporting and the netcode's kind of just a mess, but oh, it's rollback. But it doesn't matter if it's not implemented well. Uh it's already hit pretty much like my wish list for what I want in a platform fighter like this. Like we got crazy good voice acting. Like we got freaking Kevin Conroy Batman. We got George Newbern freaking Superman. John DiMaggio as Jake. Like they just took all of like the actual like voice actors and had them do the work for
Yep.
the game, which adds like a nice special touch to the game. Hell, we have freaking Maisie Williams actually voicing Arya Stark in the game.
Oh wow. Yeah, I didn't even notice.
Yeah. So like they're putting a lot of care and attention into the game. And that's always good to see.
Yeah,
So
like
I have high hopes for the game. I just hope that the free to play model and like this perk system that they haven't really talked about actually like doesn't snap the game in half.
do you
I
have a
think it's going to be a
character?
huge balancing game.
Did I ask you if like there's a character you wish to see in the game? Think of?
Um, Character I'd really want to see off the top of my head. I think I would really like to see Dexter from Dexter's Laboratory. I think that would be a super fun character to play as. And like Warner Brothers has all of Cartoon Network to pull from. So Johnny Bravo could be another like amazing character.
See, I had no idea that WB owned Warner like the I'm sorry, Cartoon Network.
Yeah,
I had no idea. That's why
the
I
subsidiary.
saw like Steven Universe and like the dude from Adventure Time. The
Yeah,
dudes.
Finn and Jake
Yeah,
are both in it.
yeah. Kind of excited, but what if they had like Ed and Eddie or
Eh,
like you know Johnny Bravo or something like that?
have the Animaniacs have them all be one character, and you can like rotate through them like in the Super Nintendo game.
Or like the Ice Climbers, kind of.
Yeah,
If
a
you could
little like
rotate
that.
them, yeah.
Except we could rotate them.
Maybe it'd be like the
I
Pokemon
think it'd be
trainer.
fun. Yeah, it could be kind of like the Pokemon trainer. I think that'd be really cool. Also, like I think the Animaniacs would be a really cool addition.
I think so too.
We
Yeah.
know we know like some of the base roster. We even supposedly know like the two mystery slots that they had, right? Because
Oh,
there was leaks.
there were leaks.
There were leaks.
Who
Yes.
who who were the leaks?
So there was two different builds that were leaked. One build was leaked and had Gandalf from Lord of the Rings.
Handle.
And the other build that was leaked had Rick from Rick and Morty. So the two like mystery slots are most likely Gandalf and Rick.
Okay, that's interesting.
So I'm pretty down to have Gandalf. I'll main Gandalf.
Yeah,
Hell yeah, let's go.
Game of Thrones versus Lord of the
Yeah.
Rings.
Yeah.
You're into fantasy. Um, yeah, I don't
One had a
really.
good ending, the other doesn't have one.
Yeah, but the show though.
One doesn't have one.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how ultimately how this game's gonna play. I'm interested to give it a try. You know, I'm just hoping that there's because I still haven't found the one thing that's like I'm fucking playing that game. Like it hasn't happened yet. Whatever it is. Um, it looks interesting. I don't know how the 2v2 is gonna work, but I'm
They are
hoping
gonna support 1v1s also though.
that's true.
So
Um,
that just probably won't be their main concern. So
right. But obviously as it develops, like I think it's
that'll be part of it.
hopefully it'll grow and it'll give me that fuck yeah type feeling
Yeah.
that's like I'm playing it, I'm buying it.
One super weird thing was it seemed like the trailer was in slow motion.
Yes.
Like the characters were moving really slow, and I think they were trying to like emphasize how well they've made the animations. Kind of like as, oh, you know how jank Brawl Stars was? Well, look how smooth our animations are.
Yep.
We can
Um.
even slow them down and they look great.
Oh, by the
And
way,
then you
you.
play like the video at like 1.5 or 1.25 speed, and then it like plays like it should.
Mhm.
You're like, oh, okay. So they probably did slow down the trailer to emphasize and let people see like what the characters are doing.
Yeah. Not only that, but it's like, hey, we also have you hear Batman's voice over there. It's Kevin
Yeah,
Conroy.
right.
Like like
Yeah,
we
that's
got
Kevin Conroy. That's George Newbern.
we have voice actors from the show, unlike Nick Brawl Stars. Um.
Also, we have Ultra Instinct Shaggy.
Shaggy. Oh right, yeah, that was actually one of the only like. Oh my god, that it's come full circle, man.
It's so stupid, but I can't hate it.
I
It's
can't hate it either.
it's like it's a dumb meme, but it's a fun meme, and I love that they just rolled with it. They're like, you know what? Let's go.
For Instinct Shaggy.
Right?
Bro, that was like that was think about it. That was like a meme that was created like 2 years ago,
Yeah.
and like now we're seeing the fruits of that meme labor.
Yeah. Hope. Also, since Warner Brothers still has the rights to like Dragon Ball Z and stuff, we could have Goku.
Versus Superman.
Warner Brothers has the American streaming rights to JoJo's. So we could have like Jotaro or Dio. Like they they have a lot going on.
Wow.
We could have a crazy roster.
Right, dude.
And I'm all for it.
If it
The
was
more crazy the better. I want to see like Goku just like punching Gandalf in the face, you know?
yes, make it weird
With like Jotaro watching in the background.
or Dio just like
Yeah, yeah, from Dio.
background whatever the hell.
But yeah, multiverses seems hype.
Yeah, I mean
Seem, and it looks like the devs like to have fun because
what.
you see like the little character names and stuff they chose,
Mhm.
like for the different characters, like their little tags. It's just fun.
You know who needs to be in the game? LeBron James.
Ooh, LeBron James. Oh, that's a tough one.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay. Clockwork Orange. Anyway, yeah,
Hmm.
I,
I
I,
don't know if it fit like their theme they're going for, but we could try.
I think that it's gonna be awesome. I just hope they go off the fucking rails with who they pick. Like, make it so
Exactly. Yeah.
stupid. Make it like make
I
like
want
the
crazy picks.
make the music awesome. I would
Throw some anime in there. make some crazy ass music, pick some crazy ass characters. You could have a really great and fun game,
Yeah, man.
especially with like all the resources that Warner Brothers can pull from. Ridiculous. I mean, you could make a freaking roster of just like the Lord of the Rings.
You could, yeah.
Like,
Have like
yeah,
Smeargle.
yeah,
No, they have
Smeargle.
Sam. Sam, he's like, this is the farthest I've ever been. And he just like every step.
You could have a tag team between Sam and Frodo. They would play like ice climbers.
Yeah,
Send Sam out to attack and stuff. Uh,
sense.
yeah,
And I mean,
wild.
I think it's gonna be good. But
I think so. I hope so.
um, all right, dude. So what do you say we give it we call it and
Wrap it up.
yeah, we'll wrap it up and let's say we start getting ready for Common Writer Club at 8 p.m. Um,
Correct. Common Writer Club in about 30 minutes on the
30 minutes.
Discord.
Oh damn, 30, yeah, about 30 minutes on the
Yep.
Discord. Which if guys look in the
Anyone
chat,
wants to come,
or
it's gonna be great.
you can feel free to join us and watch some Kamen Rider with us. But yeah, man, this is fun, and I can't wait until we do this next Sunday. Hopefully at
Next
4.
Sunday?
Actually, wait,
Okay.
is it? Because I know next weekend is like Thanksgiving week.
Thanksgiving. Oh, hmm.
Are you gonna be busy?
We'll have to figure it out. I'll have to figure that out.
Yeah, just let me know, and
Okay.
we can make it work. Um,
All right.
all right, man. So I will catch you guys later. Peace out, y'all.
Yep. Bye everyone. Thanks for watching.